downsizing in bad conditions gonna put a fish like this in the net.
Crazy fish.
Dude, crazy fish. That is a chode, Tim. I'm so excited. This is just a beast. Dude, thank you so much. This fish is going back in. Tim, thank you so much. What a great net job. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Off and away. There was no denying that thing.
Oh no, and it's a fat dude, man.
Just a fat fish. We've been getting drizzled on. We got a little rain gear on today. It's been like back and forth weather. What do? You know, blades, top water, we've tried it all. Went to the glide routine. Tim's been sort of back and clean up with some diving rods. We've been doing some different things. Just working this tight to cover, tight to timber, tight to weeds, tight to rocks. Pop, 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 pop. Real easy. But that fish came on what? Hang time. That's a number thing. I don't care if it's a monster glide bait or a tiny glide bait. Let that bait hang. I'm going to show you how to do it. Tim, best net man, not even in America, in the whole habitat range. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, let's talk glide baits. You just saw that clip of putting a really nice muskie in the net on a glider. Before we talk about how to work them or which bait you should use when, let's talk about why we use them. Glide baits are fantastic for negative to neutral fish. If muskies aren't chasing your bucktail, they're not chasing top water, they're not eating crankbaits, glide baits are gonna be the ticket. The perennial favorites are the Phantom and the Hellhound. These guys are inexpensive baits that have caught tons of muskies and they work wonderfully. So Phantom, Hellhound, either way you go, they're great for people of all skill levels. You can work them with your reel. You can just turn the reel a little bit, or taps. You're gonna get a nice walk out of them. One thing that I would say is the Phantom seems to hang a little bit light or a little bit higher in the water column, where the Hellhound will get down there a little bit. So if you're fishing over really shallow stuff, be thinking about a Phantom. If you're fishing some rocks, weeds, some breakage stuff, the Hellhound's gonna be the ticket. Now where I get really excited is we get into what I call the big boy baits, some of the funkier stuff. We got the lynchum and we got a hot tails. Two of my favorite glide baits. You go, well, these baits are different. The Phantom and Hellhound are different. How are these different? What makes these special? The lynchum baits seem to hang higher, same just like the Phantom. But what I'm looking for out of custom glide baits is the wobble. When we stop working this bait, what's it gonna do when I'm not doing anything? That is what you're gonna get out of some of these handmade custom glide baits, is a really good wobble and some application. So lynchum if you're going shallower cover structure. If you wanna get down and dirty, hot tails is gonna be the ticket. A lot of people ask, what's the setup for fishing glide baits? You can fish them on anything, but if we're gonna target fish, if we know it's a glide bait bite, I'm looking for a quick pickup reel, 6.2 to 1, 6.3 to 1, whatever it might be. Fishing on a heavy musky shop shield rod, but probably the most important thing for me is a single strand leader, just a straight wire leader. This is gonna help you get a better action out of your glide baits. It's gonna get a little bit of snap, and so every time we're gonna pop, 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 we're gonna get a better action out of that bait. What's the setup for fishing gliders? Well, I'll tell you, the first thing I think about is a reel that has a higher gear ratio, nothing too crazy fast. This is 6.2 to 1, a 6.3 to 1, a Tranx 400 with a higher gear. That's gonna get you where you need to be. You need to be able to pick up the line in between your taps, okay? Probably the most important thing, if we're actually gonna target fish with gliders, is a straight wire leader. Now this is gonna give your bait a better walk side to side as you're working it through the water, and that's probably the best thing you can do. Now, if you're fishing multi-strand, you're fishing float, you can still work them, but you get a better action with that straight wire. I'm pairing this with my heavy action shield rod, the 9.6, and I'm getting a great action out of these baits. So one thing I can tell you with glide baits is you need to be providing hang time with these baits. If we're fishing gliders when we need to be fishing them, that's when muskies are negative to neutral. We're not trying to catch hot fish on these things. We're looking for negative to neutral fish. So we're gonna give them stoppages. We're gonna give them a pause. That's when muskies are gonna grab these things. One thing you need to train yourself to do when we're fishing glide baits is not reel, okay? So we want to throw this bait out. I want to give it a tap, tap, pick up the slack. Tap, tap, pick up the slack, right? So all I'm doing with this hand is I'm picking up the slack in between those pauses. I'm not getting the bait tight, I'm not reeling into it. I'm letting it naturally go side to side and then hang. Depending on how active fish are, you can go 3, 4 pumps and then stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. But you want to give it extended hang times and you're going to put more muskies in your net.
Like and subscribe, my dudes.
Downsizing in bad conditions.